Clash Royale.
Tell them to get in here and watch some of the best StarCraft action in the entire world. It's Classic Process at Dark versus Classic in the final Game 7 of this round of 4. One player advances to continue their dreams here in the SSL. One will not. Dark, Classic, who's it going to be? Let's get into game number 7 and find out.
Here we are on our very big two-player map, Galactic Process, down in the bottom left. The Zerg player bringing it back, bringing it to game number 7. It is dark.
It is dark. The lights are off. The map tile set is dark even still. Let's see what the fan has to say. Dark in the finals. Isn't that obvious for everyone? It's not obvious for Classic. He is the blue Protoss player on the upper right-hand side. Galactic Process. He too has fans that want to talk about him. Let's see what they say here. It's like Classic, the Protoss himself, coming back.
Look at this,
today.
guys. We have a gold base being taken by Dark.
Oh, man.
And we could see the aggression be really piled on very, very fast. Classic has been so consistent with his scouting, so he is going to know something's up. And he should be prepared for this, but this could get really, really crazy very fast.
Now let's talk about this map. It's a newer map, so you guys might not be familiar with it. There's a way to run all the way around the side of the map and get some harassment on those corner bases with some destructible rocks there. There's also 2 Xel'Naga watchtowers in the upper and lower parts of the map, as well as lots and lots of destructible rocks that allow you to get between these bases that are otherwise very difficult to navigate to very long processes by ground, but that's not a drone, Valdez.
He's trying to join the Zerg army. They're not letting him, though.
He's not defecting,
like,
man.
Can I mine from this base? I like gold minerals, too.
I mean, I like gold minerals as well as the next drone, but not when it's right in the middle of a bunch of slimy bugs. So he's going to get out of there. He got away with
bring
it.
it home.
It's the great escape, man.
Bring it home to his wife, that gold mineral.
He's gonna like propose to the other probe. He's gonna propose to her and gold minerals and all.
Well, how is Classic going to respond to this?
At least he scouted it early on, so
yeah,
you can't just let a Zerg player have that base. Not only is it very far forward and difficult to defend, but if there is early pressure here, it's up to Dark to defend it.
So Dark is not going to go ultra aggressive just yet. He's taking a third base and getting both speeds, the Zergling speed and the Overlord speed. So I guess he just wanted to get that gold base really fast, and he's very confident that Classic can't really do anything about it on this map.
Well, and also you could see Classic kind of hanging his head in his hands at the end of the last game. Also voting these new maps towards the end just because they are newer, maybe less practiced, maybe less knowledgeable about how exactly to punish these early expansions. Now, the positioning of that gold base on the map is such that not only is it protected by all 3 of those destructible rocks that makes the path by land very difficult to harass it, but if Classic wants to go for it, his army will be forced to commit to it. So it's very difficult to retreat once you commit to pushing that far out on Galactic Process.
So Dark is getting a little bit scared right now because he scouted the whole base and saw no tech. The Stargate is on the right side of the map, and Dark is only going to scout it now. He immediately starts 2 spores, but the Oracle is really fast. It could get to that base and get some kills. Oh, he redirects it, though, towards the main. No, now he's going back to the gold. He's going, like, in the middle here.
I guess he's just trying to scout and see exactly whether or not there is a third or fourth base. The Spore is up there, and it will be able to push this Oracle away. If Queens had been there, that Oracle might have died, but even still, you know, three drones and lots of scouting. So the burden here for Dark is to hang on. He's been scouted in a somewhat vulnerable position, but there might just be a way for him to hold if Classic isn't familiar enough with this map or with the opportunities to try to harass and put the early pressure on.
So we do have Classic taking this third base. He's kind of given up on, you know, killing much at the third, especially with the Spore. He's going to send this Void Ray out. I think this is just to, you know, clear up the Watchtower, clear up some of those Overlords on the bottom side of the map, and just reduce the vision and map presence of Dark here.
Yep. Put that pressure on. Early Void Rays, very common. We're seeing them a lot here tonight, and you can see immediately as soon as Dark scouted that Void Ray out of the Zelnaga Watchtower, immediately pulled back all of his Overlords, and that means the map, for the most part, is very dark for Dark. Can't see what's going on.
He's living in a dark world, that's for sure.
This is also a really interesting, I really like maps like Galactic Process because they have like very unique thing, like those shielded rocks, like the rocks that are covered by smoke on either side, so you can't hit them at range without something to scout them. It's just very interesting constructions there. We'll have to see whether or not those actually do affect all that much. 3 bases for both sides, and that means that Classic's actually in a decent spot.
Classic chooses game number 7 to go charge. He got an earlier forge than he has in any other game, and I think he wants to get very early +1 and +2 and go charge the Archon as his composition. This is really going to throw Dark for a loop, and it would be fantastic if he had a lot of Banelings, which he does. He's getting, well, he doesn't have it yet, but he's getting Baneling speed, so he's preparing for it. It's going to be interesting when these two armies do clash, and if Dark can kind of, you know, scout this out and be prepared for this kind of tech.
Elucidating Phoenixes to get that exposure and scouting. Keep calling it exploration.
Exploration.
But, this is a Banelingless drop Overlord. We'll see if Classic. Oh, and he does! MVP Overlord. Beautiful splits there, but something tells me Classic's going to figure this out.
Well, he hasn't figured it out yet. He's like running those probes all the way to the Zerg base.
Oh my god. Okay, well, I guess that's the most effective Banelingless Overlord. Nice fake there. I think Classic realized that there towards the end. Even pulls back his shuttle, so I don't know if he just hit that F2 key and brought everything back, but that does take the pressure all the way off Dark with just a fake Overlord drop.
Yeah, it really does. The charge is about to finish up here. It's at 10 seconds left over, and he's getting Storm too. So, you know, the Storm can deal with the Banelings, but generally if you have a lot of chargelets, they're going to run into the Banelings first. It's very hard to micro that entire army, but the Storm is going to be good in general. You do have another Baneling drop coming into the third base.
Yeah, we'll see how jaded Classic is here. He didn't, oh no, he guesses wrong! And it's Dark that's going to be able to rain down destruction with 9 probe kills off of that Baneling drop.
Nice bit of damage, and Classic is not getting any harass damage done with his drop down in the bottom, and it's totally scouted by Dark. He has units in position already.
And because of the smoke around those rocks, you can't see them being broken down. So out of nowhere, out of the Dark will explode into Classic's base. There might not just be enough to defend it.
Here
we go, Dark all the way in there, and Classic immediately starting to panic, bringing out his entire army all the way over.
Fantastic move by Dark.
Push it back, yeah.
That's basically sniping +2 for free, and Dark gets his own +2 totally on time, you know, totally safe here. And Dark is easily just able to back off. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, you defended, but I got your +2 now.
Yeah, that gold base has been up forever for Dark, and the 4th base is actually now just getting saturated. Dark able to harass both the back door and now the front door here. Lots and lots of Ravagers, lots of Zerg out there on the map. You can finally see him working down these shielded rocks. Rolling in a bunch of Banelings. Oh my god, probes were pulled, and nice Storms there will successfully defend against so many Banelings.
You got a huge wall here at the front and a bunch of overcharges, but this is so many Banelings once again. The Cybernetics core is going to go down, going to force him to remake that at the wall. And all the while, you know, Dark is just, he has so much pressure on the map. This might be the first time that Classic gets some harass damage done.
Oh, and he should be able to snipe this hatchery if he just commits to it. Otherwise, just a lot of drones going to go down, pulling back all of these Zerglings here, but this will get cleaned up eventually.
Classic, you know, kind of goes without saying, he has a massive army here. Let's see how many Immortals. He's got 8, and he has 6 High Templar with Storm. What does Dark have at this point? A bunch of Ravagers, Banelings, and Lings. If Classic attacks now, he actually might be able to kill Dark before any of that Hive Tech gets out. It is a lot of Lings, so he has to be careful, especially with this much creep. But still a very, very strong army here from the Protoss player.
Well, and Dark is actually just going to not quite max out, but just spam that Z key. Hit up a bunch of Zerglings, Banelings, and okay, well, those didn't do anything. But he's successfully keeping Classic inside his base. Now, that's not necessarily a great thing because Classic is going to be able to have a monumental army, 122 army supply. And I don't know if Dark, if he just gets exploded on, if he can really deal with that, continuing these warpins off the back, but finally should be able to deal with that. Dark has control of most of the map. But Classic has a huge army. Another great storm there. A lot of those Banelings going down, and they will all fall.
The Nexus
but the
dies.
Nexus gets
That's the thing about
destroyed.
that. You know, even if he's not getting probe kills, he's going to kill the Nexus. And now Classic in a really strange spot. He might just go for an attack at this point, but look at how many Banelings are on the map as well.
And he does have to walk up and down high ground to make it all the way to the Zerg bases. So see if this is something that works towards Dark's favor. Now, Adrenal Glands will most likely not be up for this big push for Classic. He's trying to walk around the side to get into an angle on that gold. But this may not be enough. Now, I'm looking for observers. If there were burrowed Banelings, oh, but a huge run by because that wall is not tight. And that means that a lot of Classic base could be in trouble. But with that Defiler Mound going down and so many Immortals here, will this be enough Banelings? Great storms there to block it. And Dark could be in a little bit of trouble.
Really good storms, and his composition is so good with the Archons in the front to eat up so much of the Baneling damage. That's what I was talking about in the last game. He's able to squeak it out in this one. And even though he's taking some damage back at home, as you said, is Dark ever going to be able to deal with this army?
Big revelation here, but this is actually a concave that Dark might be able to work with. Lots of Banelings going in that do get some decent hits. That base going down was not terrible for Dark because it was completely mined out and it wasn't early taken gold base. But still, Dark in a little bit of trouble. Zerglings might not cut it against this Archon-heavy, Zealot-heavy comp. But now, oh man, Classic might just get surrounded. Big storms coming out, but how many does he have?
This game is about to go absolutely insane because Classic is not mining. He is all in from here. He's not remaking a Nexus.
Baneling hits rolling in and they actually do catch a couple of those Immortals towards the back. Dark trying to maneuver his army away here, but storms over the wall. Could they catch it? And they will, really softening up those Ravagers. And that
Void Ray getting into the mix as well. So they're not armored units yet.
Nope, and the Ravagers just running around. What's the rest of Dark's army doing? He's just maxing out on Ling Bling, and it's not going to be enough continual storm. How many of those are there? Just even like 2, 3 more left over.
He still has 5 High Templar, and they're constantly regaining that energy. It looks like he's got maybe 2 or 3 storms left over. He's going to slowly elevate her down here. So be very careful with this High Templar at this point in time.
Keeping those Immortals alive, literally living up to their name. As this push is super solid for Classic. You can just see the army supply there, 104 to 82, and it's going to start dropping here with big storms on all these Zerglings, Banelings all running in. The Immortals will finally get picked off there towards the back with the Banelings running in, but there might just be too much Protoss. It's starting to drop there. 40 supply for Dark, 50 supply for Classic.
It's so close. He's trying to hold on here, but can he? The Immortals are still alive, and there's no more links left over, and there's still nothing to deal with that Void Ray.
Okay, he's gonna have to kill the Void Ray with his Corrosive Vials or just that Queen. Zerglings running back in the back. We're actually gonna get us around! Oh my god, Dark might do it! And he's gonna kill off my vocal cords at least at the end because this game is so insane. Eventually that Void Ray does go down, and with Zerg units streaming across Galactic Process, Dark might just be able to do it.
I think he's done it. At this point, there's no third Nexus. That was the all-in push. There was no going back from that. There is an Oracle left over, but Dark, he still has an economy. He can still produce stuff. You can't say the same about Classic here.
And the wall's broken down on that left-hand side of the base, which means Dark can get all those Zerglings right on top of the Protoss army. Ravagers ravaging everything, and Dark punching his ticket to the grand finals of the SSL. There's only 28 army left here for Classic, and he might not be able to hang on for much longer.
Unbelievable game this has been. Classic, you can see that he doesn't want to leave. He's getting the information now that basically tells him that there's no way for him to come back into this game.
Now, to be fair though, the supplies on both sides are very, very low. It's 30 workers versus 40 workers, and 30 army versus 40, almost 50 army now. So it's not like this game is totally over for Classic, but especially since he's been so unwilling to rebuild his third base, his economy is actually just so bad.
It's just that if there's anything to deal with these Archons at all, at any point in this game, then Classic cannot win. He's going to try to push, actually, into this.
Oh, no. Sorry, Classic. Nice slowing field there on the Baneling.
The probes getting in there.
It's probe genocide, Valdez. It looks like any second now. GG! Dark has done it. He has shut the lights out on Classic and will advance to the SSL Grand Finals for the second time.
What an unbelievable series this has been, man. You can see the emotion on Classic's face right now. You can't even believe it. The same for Dark. He's done it. He's gone to the finals once again. And he should be feeling good about getting there and doing his best after taking a best-of-7 series against this crazy good Protoss in Classic.
I mean, when Classic closes his eyes, that's all he's gonna see is the darkness that he just had to deal with for a 7-game series. He is all... He did his hardest. He fought his heart out all the way through every single game. There was no game that he just rolled over and died in. There were several games that he just looked so dominant, Dark couldn't deal with him. But in the end, it is Dark's tenacity, that early gold base that he took that was really unpunished there by Classic, using creative strategies, and in the end, able to punch his ticket to the grand finals.
Classic still can't believe it. He's kicking himself. Not just for that last game, but the one before it too. We talked about the control mistakes. He's going over in his mind all the games that he lost right now. And after this series, I'm sure he's going to be afraid of the dark, that's for sure.
Getting his Bible thump on.